Welcome back.
Let's effing go.
Let's do this. We're live. Let's go.
Been practicing all week, everyone.
All right. So, big announcement. Obviously, if I've done it, you'll know
That
what we're
made
talking
it
about.
sound like we're going to announce I'm pregnant or something.
No, not even bigger.
I'm not pregnant.
No. We'll definitely tell you if we are.
That would be another big announcement.
No big announcement. Name change. Okay, everyone. So, it's gone from Michael Henry Podcast to Henry Castle.
Henry Castle. I feel like that's more inclusive with me, right?
Yeah, seeing as you're the incumbent guest, you're just here every episode. Yep, not going anywhere.
I've been adopted.
Yeah, I can keep saying like, thank you for coming on, Sophie. Guest
And
400.
it's like in the description, Sophie, number 10, like Sophie. Yeah, here I am.
Number 11.
Henry Castle.
I do like the professionalism of doing it that way, of just having guest and number.
Simplicity.
Yeah, I love that. But
I like it too.
at a certain point, it's people, what's going on here?
At a certain point, it's just repetitive and not cool.
I did plan to have more guests on, but then thinking about the ridiculousness of the study and that it's actually really a castle, and that's, the joke of it all.
Yeah, it's definitely not a castle.
Yeah.
No. I feel like if it was a castle, it would have like stone brick walls, and we would have like a castle surely would have a podcasting room, right?
Oh yeah, we have a whole studio in there, have
In
acoustic
castle,
walls
castle.
and all going on in there.
And if this podcast is really successful, we can buy a castle, and then maybe it would make more sense.
Get my dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get a dragon.
Yeah, pet dragon.
For
It's been
our
on the
castle.
list. Yeah.
Yeah. No one has a dragon in their home.
Podcast, castle, dragon, second baby.
Right?
Pregnancy.
Oh my goodness.
Is that the priority list? In that order?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I guess a dragon will be like a baby. You have a little baby dragon.
Yeah, I can just have a dragon second baby.
Yeah.
Teddy would have fun. With a
Just like in
dragon.
Game of Thrones. That didn't turn out well.
It
Spoiler alert.
It didn't turn out well.
Those dragons. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, so
So here we are. So I've got a whole new setup. We've got lighting. We've got a podcast, an iPhone stand. We haven't removed the mirror yet. Shout out to the mirror.
I love the mirror. I don't want the mirror to go anywhere.
I don't know.
Tell us if you hate the mirror, and I just don't care. 'Cause I love it.
I feel as though the mirror at some point may go. But yeah, we've got lighting.
Is it like
iPhone
behind the scenes?
What
Don't you
else
feel
has
like
changed?
do you feel like it's behind the
The
scenes?
mics.
Yeah, the mics.
The lapel
Shout out to
mics.
Lando, because Lando hated us for not having good mics. He said he couldn't listen to it.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
well,
It's the worst podcast he ever heard.
No, he didn't say that.
Well, look at us now. Where's your podcast, Lando?
Yeah.
Well, this is his podcast.
So hopefully everyone's enjoying better quality sound. You can see us clearer, so it looks more like real life.
Yeah, we've got the ring lighting. We can change it. I'm just going to do it just for the fun of it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
If
you can see in the mirror.
see in the mirror,
Yeah.
if anyone's watching
Oh,
the
that's
video,
cool.
there's like this
How cool is
rainbow.
that? They actually kept saying that at the store, saying it would be cool. And I was
It
like, no,
actually
it
is
won't.
quite nice.
I kind of like this. This is pretty fun.
I didn't believe that the
Okay.
rainbow
Like a
feature
red
was
disco.
going to be
We got
interesting.
red, we got green, we got blue, yellow. Is
Yeah.
that yellow anymore? It's
It
kind of
looks
strange yellow.
green.
Strange yellow. Purple,
Yeah.
blue,
So
red. and
for
then-
everyone who's not
we
looking at the video, we're going probably check out the video because he just
Back
went
to
through all the
normal.
lights.
That was
How
fun.
interesting. That was interesting.
Yeah, I feel like we just went out again.
I felt like we were just going through some like time
Rolling
warp.
back the clock, just feeling it.
Yeah.
Get the boogie on.
So and
Do people still say that?
the boogie?
Yeah, get the boogie on.
No.
I don't think they even said that
Why
when
would
we
you
were
even
young.
ask me? Did they?
Probably
Then
not.
I'll have to get Dad back on the. My mum is very keen to hop on the program. We can also Mum. She probably would say Mum's been around a long time. Not when there were dragons. That's too long ago. It's not even real.
I was about to say, I was like, yeah, you had us there for a bit. I was just on that trend. But what is real anymore? You know, you see stuff AI online anymore these days. I watched this video of all these bunny rabbits jumping on a trampoline in someone's backyard. Someone had set up a camera to catch these rabbits. I was like, these rabbits having a great time. And I just saw in the comments, I was like, please don't just be AI. And everyone was like, yeah, I got tricked by AI.
Oh no.
Why would you even do that?
And the bunnies.
It's so much fun to see rabbits jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Maybe it was real and people were just quick to do the AI call out thing. It's going to get strange, but at what point, you know, what's real, what's not real? Are we even real? Maybe we're just AI.
We're definitely real.
Yeah.
I feel like AI would be more, it would be more perfect. It would have like, or maybe AI would be so smart to have imperfection. That's probably true, isn't it?
Can't get more perfect than this.
Well, I'm not going to.
If you feel perfect, you've got nothing to worry about, all right?
Yeah. It's going to be so weird. I feel like 2025 is the year of the shift. I feel like we've shifted into the next like era kind of thing. It just feels more technological. It feels like technology's integrated more in life. And I think it's AI on Google's kind of changed things for me. Like not that I do Google very much because it gives me a stupid headache. But if I do, I can just like Google something and it comes up AI. Like I love that feature.
Well, Sophie was using the microphone, then I realized, why don't I do that? Every time I go to Google something, I type it out like a monkey, and I realized she's just there, she'll tap microphone and just speak into it, and it's so good. It would just write out the whole question. It could be a 2-sentence question. It will just write it all out and then find the answer for you straight away. Meanwhile, I'm still typing for a minute trying to get to that point.
Like a monkey.
Yeah, like a Neanderthal or something.
Like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, so now I just microphone that in. I do that with everything else too. If I have to write a note, whatever it is. Siri's still not there yet. Still needs some work, Apple. Fix that up for us. I want Siri to be so good I can just
my Siri annoys
tell it what to do exactly. It'll go through and put things into a calendar precisely.
I want Siri to be available when I want Siri to be available. I feel like sometimes I shout out, seriously, and then Siri's like, hello, how can I help you? And I'm like, no, I said seriously, not Siri. I find that really annoying.
You need to be able to discipline Siri. You need to be able to do something to punish Siri, like turn Siri off somehow, but like...
Is he joking? Michael, are you joking?
What? Bad Siri.
No, don't talk about punishing people.
No, AI. No, I don't mean that AI overlords. I didn't mean
You
that.
sound violent.
You gotta like, right now, you've got to be kind to AI because it'll remember. You can't be mean to AI.
It's gonna remember.
I always say please and thank you to Siri. I do it all the time. I'm very polite.
Yeah, it's funny that, right? Because I think I do too.
Yeah, it's funny.
Is it because you want to be polite to Siri, or is it because
I do
you
that.
want to be a polite person?
I just do that normally in real life anyway.
Just used to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe there's a little part of me that just knows that one day there'll be some super intelligence that'll fact check and go, how many times did Michael ask please, and put our Siri something.
Could you imagine? They rank everyone. Who said the most pleases and who didn't?
Yeah.
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 That'd be interesting.
It could be the big difference between whether or not, yeah, they like let you live or put you in the Matrix. Yeah, so in the Matrix, spoiler alert, they, the robots eventually use everyone as batteries. That's what happens in the Matrix. They use the humans like from birth. They put them in little pods, and then the baby becomes an adult human, become like a battery. It's more efficient than real batteries because in the Matrix they scorch the sky, so there's no solar coming in.
How does this relate to yoga? I got told the Matrix is entirely about yoga. How do you think that relates to yoga? The fact that they're putting humans in little pods for batteries.
I think we're almost doing it to ourselves anyway.
Shit is, Mike. That's deep.
Yeah, I think...
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I wonder if it's
Can you break that down a little bit more for everyone? So what I got from that is Michael saying that we're all, with the way that we're living our life, shut off from connecting with, I'm going to say it's yoga that kind of opens up the world and like our experience of the world, and people with our day-to-day going off to work and just that like humdrum of life, then they're saying like that's like us living in the pod shut off. Is that correct? Yeah. And it's like I was gonna say communism, like commercialism is kind of like stealing our battery. It's kind of like the way the government's set up. It's kind of extracting our energy from us, from putting us to work. Like you could go really deep into this metaphor, right? Because it feels like that. It feels like, I remember, for the brief, everyone might remember back like episode 1 or 2, I explained I did advertising for, I got let go from so many jobs because I didn't know I had MS at the time. But anyway, I was not delivering, and I've apologised to MNC Saatchi. I wish I could have been better. I'm so sorry.
Those poor employees of you.
I was so excited to work for MNC Saatchi.
I know how you feel.
But I remember during that period it was only 3 years, and I remember feeling like, oh, I'm doing this again. And I remember sitting behind the desk and thinking, I don't want to be here. Like, what is this? Is this life? Like, is this it? Because, like, even in advertising, or whether it's any profession, they kind of, like, sell you this dream. Like, oh, your life's going to look like this if you land this job. Or, obviously, that's not the case if you're working just at the supermarket necessarily. Or, you know, kind of what the deal is there. But, yeah, I don't know. Work. I remember it used to drain something more from me than just energy. It felt like spiritually I was being drained as well.
I think it's that alarm clock that goes off.
But then you wake up 2 minutes before it anyway.
Yeah. That's what everyone always says.
Yeah, there's something that's like Matrix.
But we keep it on just in case.
And it's like Siri is like, hello. And we're like, not now. Yeah. Not now, Siri.
Not now, Siri.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've meant more, obviously there's that angle, the work cycle, the consumerism of it all, but I meant just with technology, we're paying for it. We're always upgrading our phones, our laptops, our TV. Mm-hmm. So all this money we're funneling into technology is allowing that industry to keep developing the AI, everything.
Okay.
So we're upgrading and changing it. So gaming, virtual reality, augmented reality, all these things are
advancing.
We don't even realize we're kind of doing that by just purchasing the new iPhone or whatever it is, but that money that keeps fueling it. And this is all directly linked to AI. So by our decisions and what we want is, you know, creating AI, and they're really not sure how this is going to play out with AI. I've listened to a lot of serious podcasts about it, and the greatest minds in the world are not convinced it's going to be a great outcome for us. There's a lot of people on the fence.
But I can't get away from being concerned. Why is there not more attention on the impact it's having on us already? And I don't get worked up about things. There's no point expending energy feeling worked up. But I do think there is a serious problem, especially I can look and reference to schools. And I've heard from my parents who are both teachers currently. And there is such a terrible situation going on, which is not talked about. And it's to do with students suffering enormous levels of anxiety, depression. There's terrible mental health disorders in schools these days, and there is that link with technology. And it's interesting because we're putting our money into it, but the impact, the destruction it's causing already, and it's highlighted in the school system. It's,
kids are being forced to use laptops.
Being forced to use laptops. Fortunately, some schools are taking the phones away from the kids when they're at school. That's good. but it's just, you can't escape it. They go home.
I can't even imagine when I grew up at primary school, high school, there was no laptops at all. None.
No.
Not one laptop. Zero.
We're so old.
So old. And now younger people go, what do you mean? You're like, really? You have laptops?
They seem concerned and very confused. How? They're like, how did you exist without the laptop?
Yeah, and I suppose it's hard for us to know because we're not at school today. But when we were there was certainly kids who were anxious. You know, I think most kids were still anxious at times. But
I'm going to speak from the perspective of a student who was not anxious at all. That was not an emotion or a state of feeling that I felt.
Do you think most other kids were?
No, let me think. I just don't think I would say that's a dominant emotion or sensation I was getting from people. There were some kids who were quieter and a bit more, cautious in interaction, but I don't think it definitely was not widespread.
Okay. So
definitely
when
not.
we hear statistics today, it's saying that children are much more anxious at schools, but we're not there. So personally, I'm not exposed to it. I don't know what it looks like.
My dad, he works, we had him on the program, and he's been sharing with me the fact he's got a specific class there in grade 8, and the level of anxiety and mental health issues that my dad is having to manage within the classroom. As a teacher, you have to make, considerations for students with teaching them if they're suffering from these things. And he said it's just absurd and very concerning. And there just isn't enough discussion around it.
Well, it's got to be technology. Like, what else has changed in the last decade or two more than technology?
It is technology because the parents know best. Parents know what's up. And the parents are telling the schools it's the phones, it's the computers. From the parents' perspective, that's what they're believing to be the issue.
But what can we do? Like, what are the options?
What can we do? We can
talk about it. Be outraged.
We can create a spotlight on the issue, like with our podcast. What can we do collectively?
Throw our technology in the bin.
I think it needs to be an issue that is seen to be an issue.
But then how do we talk about new microphones? Our new light? I suppose it's just being balanced. It's about having technology, but not using it all the time.
The issue is technology is trying to get us out of balance. Technology isn't about balance.
Well, I think it's our addictive minds want to just keep using technology.
It's also the nature of the system. Now we're working with schools who are integrating technology, getting kids on the laptops. There are so many advantages of technology, the information you can access. AI in its own right is so clever and it can help us advance as,
But it seems like it's making everyone supremely anxious.
It's making people supremely anxious.
And this is short term, so I don't think we can even address the long term thing about the existential threat of humanity or whatever, or every species on the planet.
Michael's big contemplation.
But it sounds silly, but it's very soon. If AI keeps, progressing the way it is, evolving, it's changing so quickly. So that's serious. If everyone decided around the world, let's just stop doing AI and let's stop upgrading iPhones, could that be a real reality? It seems so stupid.
It feels almost like I'm sitting here and I'm trying to find the light, and I'm trying to find that sense of hope that we can get through this. This is really sad. I feel like it's such a big thing that we're having to combat, and I personally sitting here right now thinking about it, I don't know what the answer is, because it seems top down, like people who have the most power, the most money, the most influence, people who own businesses, people who are in the government,
so giant
they're all
corporations.
about giant corporations and
countries and
governments
of countries could decide what to do with AI. The problem though is that if many countries all got together and said, let's stop AI, some country will go, yeah, and then do it on the side or whatever. And then that country will get really advanced AI and then they could take over in many different industries. So it's kind of like the nuclear race again.
Well, that's why it feels almost like, it's like...
Let's just hope for the best type thing. Let's all just, put our head in the sand and just hope for the good outcome.
It's just tough. I think for me personally, looking at things from Michael's perspective, he's going really big scale.
Well, I want to know that our baby is going to grow up in a world that he's not just wiped out by some just super advanced machine.
Jesus.
That just decides, our planet would be better if it was just, a fuel source or something. And then it just like upgrades its ship and takes off.
The hope that I have is our son Teddy. He's so smart. I feel like he might sort this out for everyone.
He is smart. You know what he did?
Let's let this go.
You know what he did at the playground? At the playground, he walked around, picks up a little rubbish, and he look at me, look at the bin, and then he indicate for me to take the random rubbish off the ground and put it in the bin.
And I say, Teddy, no. I say, yucky, put it down. Like, someone else has left that there. We can't touch it. But he's very sweet.
Yeah, he's sweet but smart. He's playing, but also cleaning up the playground.
No, he puts away people's shoes. If they've left them at the side of the playground, he picks the shoes up and puts them in the nearest pram because that's how we keep our shoes.
Yeah, he's tidying.
That's really sweet. But then I say, Teddy, we can't touch other people's shoes because they'll get upset. What are we going to do about technology? I feel like we got into a really big panic and I don't think we've resolved what's going on.
I think the last big panic, obviously there's been a few, there was Y2K, COVID, there's been a few things that happened that freaked everyone out. We always kind of knew...
No one's panicking about it. I just
some people are freaking out about the AI
Should we just I need to let go a bit of energy.
Well, relax the body.
I feel very stressed.
I think global warming was the new big one coming up and that one still seems there, but I think people go, okay, but with intelligent systems and AI, we can solve, and collective effort, we can solve global warming.
I think people are waiting for things to get out of control with technology. At the moment, people are anxious, people are depressed, but I think they need to have the population get to a level which is impacting on things collectively, and I think that will bring attention to it so that it will then get addressed. At the moment, things aren't good. People are suffering, but it's not impacting on our economy.
I think we have three situations. So the first is the current situation, which is the anxiety produced by technology. Situation 2 is that would be the next level of meaning. So once AI starts replacing people in the workforce and people are out of work, out of jobs.
What was level 1?
Level 1 is just the anxiety that technology is having on our species.
Okay.
I think it's just everyone seems more anxious than they did when I was a kid.
Yes. Okay, what's level 2?
Well, level 2 is when everyone's mostly out of work because your job has been automated. So that's coming. A lot of people are going to get laid off. That's happening.
Yes.
It's going to begin, and maybe people won't get laid off, have to work longer hours at worse jobs.
What's level 3?
Well, level 3 is just that, AI wiped us out.
There's not a level in between?
There could be, or it could be they enslave us or something. That's you don't be tortured. You don't be put in a zoo or something. Hopefully,
or in a pod, like the Matrix.
Yeah, you could be in the Matrix pod, but that might be nice too because we might already be in the pod. we already might have won. That movie's so good. That's my favorite movie.
Matrix,
yeah. So I think. Obviously, it'd be nice if everyone could get together and solve it. I think there's a lot of people trying to work at safety guards with AI, but once it becomes smarter than the people programming it...
What about children and technology? For me, that is such an area of confusion because it seems to be the normal thing where kids are in front of screens. My niece had a phone before she was 1, and shout out to my brother Chris.
He's not.
He's awesome. Hey,
he's not
watching.
No.
He's busy. He's got 2 kiddies and he's an engineer.
Yeah, very busy.
Very busy. Yeah. But he was what were you talking about?
AI. Technology. Oh, the phone.
Spencer. Oh, I can say Spencer's name. It's perfectly fine. But she had a phone before she was 1. And everyone was like, oh, okay, it was a bit funny at the start, but it's just kind of like, yeah, yeah, kids are before the age of 1 having phones.
That's all they're going to know. That's their reality.
I know, but it's everyone's, well, they're suffering, and it's kind of like we're the ones enabling access. Little Ted,
I wonder what happens
he
with
doesn't have a phone. He tries to get our phone, and like we'll take it away from him.
We're thinking like, you know, backwards at the moment or in the past. The phone is not like, we're going to have Neuralink soon. Neuralink is literally going to be everyone's head, and that's going to connect you to the phone or to the cloud or whatever. So if you don't know what Neuralink is, look it up. And
So Neuralink's a savior, because at the moment, this is
might help
not
you
a
a
good
lot.
situation.
Well, you can't use technology as it is, so it might help you. Right now, it's being used for people with disabilities, so that's where it's beginning. But eventually, it will get rolled out to the general population, and it'll allow you to interface with your phone or laptop or whatever much quicker speed. So right now, when we go to, as I said, to ask Google a question, you have to type it out, you have to say it. With Neuralink, you'll just think it for a second, or how long it takes you to think up something, and then bang, you've got your answer. It's already in your head already. You know, it might even just be a feeling that you'll get or whatever, how it works. I don't have a Neuralink, but so I wonder if that's gonna make us more anxious, being hooked up to something.
I find it really hard to put myself into that, like, that fast forward
That's
future
soon. That's already
scenario.
happening. People are getting
struggle
that.
with
But right now, like the guy who has Neuralink, he's happy. He's supremely happy because he's a quadriplegic and he can't move at all. So for him, he can use Neuralink and he can move his eyes around and he can do things with it and he can play games and do things on his computer. So that's a big advancement for him. So I think with all the technology brings some enjoyment, some entertainment, but also anxiety, and it's mitigating, sort of balancing out.
Do you feel like we look like we're in the future in this video?
Yeah, look at that ring. The ring's so funny in the mirror if you can see it.
I feel like this video compared to the previous one, we look like we're in the future. We're embracing technology in a positive way, hopefully.
I suppose we're at an age, right, where maybe by the time we pass, you know, it's not going to advance.
When we pass like the school test.
Yeah, that's cool. That AI hasn't got that advanced. So, but it's just, you got to be thinking, you know, ahead for people. It's for our baby, his babies, so forth. It's what, you know, what are we doing? But maybe we have no choice. And it's like every culture or civilization that's come in the past. I think there's a saying, it's like 270 years, is that it? That a civilization lasts and then it collapses and then a new one takes over. Something like that. Should like check that out. I might check that out. But I was thinking, you know, maybe it's just part of the course, is that what...
For me, mental health is such an important aspect of, you know, consideration. And it just feels like the impact of technology on mental health is being ignored.
Civilizations last for an average of 340 years. So it's like a pattern they see. So I wonder how long our civilization has been going on for. It's probably longer than
Michael's
that, isn't it?
going into doomsday. Golly Willy. We need to get one of those doomsday bunkers. We'll have to make it a castle bunker. Michael,
Well, that's confusing.
what are you looking at?
Well, how can they say they last 370 years, but then our civilization's been around 6,000 years? That doesn't make any sense. I only have one sat. Like, obviously, they're talking about the periods that we talk about, Middle Age and you know, the agriculture area, like those. I don't know. It's not a really good answer. Anyway.
Do you find that probably there's no point thinking about that anyway?
Well, it's interesting.
What are you going to do about it? Panic. Relax and release. Let's just have to cope with this collapse of our civilization.
Well, maybe it becomes better though. Hasn't things gotten better over the past? You know, a few hundred...
Well, our podcast video is clearer.
Well, a few hundred years ago, people were just swinging swords around and cutting everyone up, left, right, and centre. That was happening a few hundred years ago.
I feel as though definitely things in terms of medicine have advanced, and I'm living with multiple sclerosis, and as someone living with MS, I wouldn't want to be around even 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, earlier. Um, I wouldn't have had the medicine to help me as much. I would be screwed. I'd be really terribly sick.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it. Yeah, people.
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, people wouldn't make it. Yes.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, however, excuse me, it's a bit of that like golden era. It's like the time period where people, it was like post World War II, and like people were celebrating life a bit more, like enjoying it. Just, the connection with family. People seemed closer to each other.
But we
back
weren't
in the
even alive
70s.
though. It's just kind of what we see in movies, what
Yeah,
people
it
say.
sounds
How do you even
great.
know? It's like us talking about the kids at school. It's like
I think about like rainbows, like just rainbow like patterns around. I feel as though the colours around were like a bit brighter. They've repainted our building, and
Right.
it's like dark grey
But
and like a neutral tone. But like in the 70s, it used to be yellow and like an earthy red. That's fun. I think that's a more fun colour. So I don't know.
I think you can glorify any time period, but the reality is, in those time periods, there's groups who are completely marginalized. If you were gay back then, in the 1950s, that wasn't a thing at all. So like there's
not good.
tons of groups that would be, history is horrible. So it's always the people who had a good time write the history books, isn't it? The conquerors. Yeah, write the history. I'm personally, I know it sounds gloomy, everything I've been saying, but I'm personally.
It has been sounding a bit gloomy.
Well, I'm just talking about what the options are, and that is.
I get it.
Yeah, obviously we want it to be utopia. We want to just have a world where AI is super friendly, and we can get all the medicines made, and not have to suffer. It could be the dawning of heaven on earth, or whatever you want to call it. I'm optimistic that there is going to be a lot of great benefit from it. I put it based off everything I've ever heard and what I've heard experts say, probably like an 80-20 type of situation.
I feel as though whilst I've been panicking and upset about people suffering with their anxiety and depression stemming from the use of technology, I feel as though we are an intelligent species, and I feel as though the goal that we do have together is to improve and advance, and I feel as though these issues will be addressed more closely at some point, hopefully very soon, and it won't just keep going on the way it is.
I think it's hard to control how someone feels and what they decide to do with their time. So
I disagree.
how do you guarantee that a population will not be anxious through
just
medication or
believe-
something? You give everyone a pill every day, and then you can watch as much
Happy
TV as you
pill.
want. You go on your phone 15 hours, and you just don't feel any anxiety. It's an anxiety release pill. No side effect, and it's not antidepressants. It's just.
I think it's just the way that, like, my goal back when I was doing solely yoga teaching back in 2015 for a few years, my goal was to embed within the school curriculum. I wanted to have yoga, well-being, meditation. I wanted that to be such, whether it's a centerpiece, I would love if it's a centerpiece. I think it's a foundation for students to build a happy life. Not just students build a happy life, but I think for the economy as well. You need to have people functioning. And I really wanted to have that integrated in terms of teaching students when they're stressed, what should they do? There is no reference point that we're given going through school about how to deal with things that happen in life, and they happen to everyone, tough times and tragedy. But the day-to-day troubles, there is no toolbox that we're given in regards to breathing, posture that can help, mind patterning in terms of like the way you speak to yourself in your head, positive thinking, I'm just trying to say a long way around. But that, I like, for me, moving forward, I think we can cope with technology, but we need to have that within the creation of the next generation and like their toolkit. Yeah.
There's a really good quote. It's a bit of a gloomy quote. But
I'm trying to be super optimistic. I really hope that does happen.
the quote is, "The gates of hell are locked from the inside."
Yes. I don't think that's necessarily gloomy.
Well,
I think that's
it's
quite empowering.
Leaves you optimistic because you can go, okay. I think it's from C.S. Lewis.
The gates of hell are locked from the inside, and to me, what a wonderful... Oh no. Does that mean that we're opening the gate to hell?
No, it just means that you're making
Like
yourself
from the inside.
depressed.
Oh, no, sorry. I was like misinterpreting that, thinking it was like the gates to heaven. I don't know why I was thinking about it in a positive way.
So it's from C.S. Lewis. It suggests that individuals who experience suffering or unhappiness in their lives, or who end up in a state likened to hell, are ultimately responsible for their own situation through their choices and unwillingness to change. So
I really want to acknowledge this idea that it's up to the individual. I get really upset. At times in my life, I've had people say to me, "You're choosing to be upset." And I really want to give some perspective on that idea. I don't believe anyone's not choosing to be upset. People want to feel good. They want to feel calm and peaceful and happy. And I remember when someone said to me, "You're choosing to be, you just want to be
that's
upset."
annoying. If you don't feel happy and someone tells that to you.
I know, and I just feel as though C.S. Lewis, I do agree that there is control within us about the direction, the path that we take towards the light or the dark. I do agree with that. I don't fully agree, though, with the comment that people... I suppose I've got to be real as well. People make decisions, and with the decisions that we make, we are therefore choosing to go in a certain direction. I just find it really sad sometimes people are making decisions, but I don't think people are in control necessarily of that decision. I'm speaking from someone I've got scars on my brain, and there were times where I was making decisions that didn't make sense, that were leaving me to upset, but I wasn't in control of it. And I always have a soft spot when I hear that. And it could be people, you don't have to have scars in your brain, but you could just be in a state where there's a lot going on in your life and it's hard to make decisions that are positive. And it's at those times that's when you need the help. That's when you need to have had at school some teachings around mindfulness and whatnot.
When you're down in the dumps and someone...
family and relationships.
When you're down and someone who's feeling really up comes along and you're feeling down, it's hard to just jump onto that level. You know, how do you get from zero to hero?
Yeah,
you
need
away.
Someone to hold your hand sometimes, right? And you need someone to just be there.
I think a little step in the right direction is good, and you can build from that.
Yeah.
You can't go all the way overnight, but you can... Going for a walk is good. Or just doing something to get yourself out of the bad mood, and then think, where is my life at? I have been down in my life at some points, real down, and I can think about...
hasn't everyone, right?
Yeah, I can think about what was I eating. I used to eat 2-minute noodles all the time.
Like delicious,
all the time.
But not the most nutritious.
Yeah, mee goreng noodles, love that stuff. What's that doing to my body and my mind? Where am I at? How's it helping my mind work or do anything? So there's little, I think at each age we get smarter, we get older, wiser. How much water are we drinking? These are little things you can work on. Just drinking water, not eating 2-minute noodles daily. the uni diet, Coca-Cola and noodles.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to do what you got to do to get by at a time. Maybe that's what helps you cope. You got to do what you got to do. But I think everyone wants to live a good life, a happy life. Everyone wants to feel healthy and live as long as they can, and be well in older age and move well and have a body that's can still get around and do its best, at any capacity, whether it's you can remember things or whatever it is.
I suppose that in essence is why the tradition of yoga was created. It was created to give some sense of structure around trying to break down how can we live a fulfilling, peaceful and happy life. And they identified the limbs of yoga to do with eating, to do with movement, breath work. There's a whole range of different areas that they specified, and that's what they were trying to do with that tradition. But in our Western society, we don't have something like that necessarily to work from so much, do we? Well, some of us lean on that way of thinking, and the others were just, it's kind of like, I suppose if you don't have that connection with yoga, you might be seeking help or, I don't know, guidance from, maybe it's like podcasts.
I'm always surprised.
So many different avenues.
People who haven't done yoga, when I speak to them, and I've been doing it for the last decade now, sometimes a lot more than other times. Sometimes I stop for a little bit, but I always get back into it. Or I also do it at home too. I'm always practicing. I always do poses before I go to sleep. Might not be a full class, but I'll do a few poses that I know help my body. But I think about the friends I have who have never done it, never done any yoga at all in the last 10 years, not one pose or anything, never attended a class, they don't know what happens there, they haven't...
But we're talking here, Mike, about the majority of people.
Yeah, well, I think...
So, Michael, you're sounding like you're really surprised. Oh, people haven't done yoga,
no, but
this or that. Most people haven't.
I mean in my mind when I'm thinking about how much of it I've done, and gone, oh wow, I just by chance got myself into doing it.
And then you met your wife. Michael met me in the first class.
So Sophie and yoga intertwined just forever.
Michael told me, like, on the first date or second or third, that when he would go to work, the boys at work would chant, so go.
I'll carry the tools, so go.
And that's like me, I'm Soga, Sophie Yoga, they just came up
so
with
I wasn't there, but yeah,
so
Ben and
funny.
Lando were carrying the tool bags, toolboxes in.
Who's like our producer?
In the rain and the dirt,
Lando.
and they're carrying it into the construction site. So go, and they'll carry it from the ute.
I love saying that Lando's our producer. It does make it sound, more legitimate?
Yeah,
Probably
I'll start
not.
sending equipment for all the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got great ideas.
Yeah. He said he's moving to the Gold Coast as well.
To work on the Willy Wonka film?
Yeah, he's straight in. They're going to hire as an Oompa Loompa. He can straight to the movie. Hey, I'll do that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Why can't Lando be Charlie in the chocolate factory?
He is not tall enough. Oh, Charlie's the kid.
Lando's tall.
Charlie's the kid.
Yeah.
Do you mean Wonka?
Charlie. Yeah, he could be Wonka.
Yeah, how's Lando going to be the kid?
Well, I don't know. Bit of makeup.
Well, they've gone with Timothy. How do you say his last name? Chalamet. I don't know. Timothy. Dune man.
Chalamet.
Good-looking fella.
Well, is he going out with Kendall Jenner?
Sure, but yeah, Lando doesn't look like him. Okay, so that's why. No offense, Lando, but he's Wonka.
He's Charlie. Is he Charlie?
No, he's Willy Wonka.
He's Willy Wonka.
A young Willy Wonka.
Ooh.
He's a tall,
Nice.
handsome fella.
Yeah.
Gets to play Dune. He's all the blockbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got to figure out how to say that last name. Feel bad. He'll forgive us, but go way back.
How do we get onto Willy Wonka?
Because the film, and Lando's moving up. Everyone should move to the Gold Coast. Part of the new film. I promise we'll get you on. I've got a guy. He's working on it.
Yeah.
We'll hook up. I'd love to be in that film.
I'd love to be in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Who could I be?
I'd be the last extra. That's the least seen in the whole film. I'd be happy with that role.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Just to say,
Do
I
you
was in
think
Willy
they have a
Wonka.
lot of chocolate on the production of Willy
When no
Wonka?
one's looking, I would just jump in that chocolate lake and just drink the chocolate. Just get a bucket. I'll bring it
you
home for you and
imagine?
Teddy. We all just have chocolate from the Willy Wonka film. That's
inspiring.
yeah. It's a reason to get into
I'm
acting.
getting hungry for lunch. I might have some chocolate now.
I might have some 2-minute noodles. Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Well, what an interesting episode. I did not expect that we'd dive so deep into what we've discussed. They're really important issues.
Yeah.
I like thinking about stuff like this. But where have we come from, what we've talked about? I suppose we've just got to have hope that we're all intelligent beings and hopefully we've got the same goal in mind, everyone. But the thing is, it's like the government, they really just want to make money, right? Money does not equal happiness. I did think it did when I was little. That's what I was told, but it doesn't.
I think everyone's just doing what they're doing, and
Oh, there's little Teddy. All right.
Much love. It's really great doing this. I love that we get to do this. I love that everyone listens. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, love you. Bye.
Much love. See you soon.